beyond the China wall. You're beautiful when they see. Out of control, you'll see. You came up, they can't knock you down. You an ego and you're so now. I see you, yeah, you glowing, you're rolling, so lethal, yeah, explosive emotion. Walk in the room and you'll freeze, yeah. You stop in time when you leave. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, you special, you so wonderful. You know you a queen, so never let them get you off your throne. Perfect just the way you are, you blessed beyond the China wall. God took his time when he made you. Of a kind, you 100 proof. Top of the line, 9/11 cool. Stop in the time, you're so magical. God took his time, one of a kind. Top of the line, stop in the time. God took his time, one of a kind. Top of the line, stop in the time. Hey, you are amazing, simply amazing. I just wanna stop and say that you're beautiful. God took his time when he made you, simply amazing.
Hello, and welcome back to Facing Purpose radio show. I am your host, Lakia Barnett, and I am so excited about the show. It's so glad to be back live, you guys. Lots of things have been going down, but you know how it is when you are someone that's wearing many, many hats. And y'all, I'm wearing multiple hats in this season, but praise God, he has given me all the strength to be able to carry out everything that he has filled my laps and hands with, y'all. So I need you guys to get excited about the show, because I'm always so triple excited when I get a chance to connect with other people around the world who are doing great things, who are creatives, of course. Y'all know how I am about the creative, so I am very excited to be interviewing two powerhouse women tonight. I am so excited that they say yes. I'm so excited to find out what they have been doing, find out about their journeys. And, y'all, I just love what I do. So, listen, shout out to the Tears of Purpose family, holding it down today live for Theater in Word, y'all. Look. They asked, what do men want? And baby, them questions came in. I was like, y'all, we gonna be here till next Christmas trying to get all these questions answered. So y'all know we're gonna have to do this again, where we are going to have to rile up some more men. Shout out to all the men that were on the panel that answered the raw truth that many women they asked, but they really don't want to know the real answers to. But I thank God for these men that came and really let us know what they want. Okay, so stay tuned for part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but it's going to be lots of parts coming after this. Okay, so tonight I want you guys to get comfortable. Go ahead and share with everybody you know. Let somebody know that Facing Purpose radio show is on, and we are here to help you get educated, number one. Number two, motivate you. Number three, get you together, try to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. What is your purpose? Because the show is called Facing Purpose, okay? So our first guest tonight, y'all, she is amazing. I love her spirit. I just believe that she is going to be touching many, many arenas. She is an author. She's also a playwright, y'all. She's like me, and I love it. She's a creator. And so we're going to bring right here to our little virtual couch. Y'all can't see it, but I can in my mind. That's how creatives do. We're about to bring her to the virtual couch, and her name is Miss Chanel Coleman Wesley. Welcome to Facing Purpose Show. Hey.
Hey, gorgeous. How are you doing? I am so excited to be here. I can see the virtual couch and everything.
Yes, you know, I had to throw that up in there. I'm like, y'all, just get it in your mind. That's how creatives do.
I love it. It's plush and everything. I have made myself at home. Thank you.
Yes. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience?
All right. Well, my name is Chanel Coleman Wesley, and I am a native of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's see. I've begun my journey just finding my purpose through trauma. I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, and that's really what helped to develop my passion for writing. Writing to me is so therapeutic, and so I just get lost in writing and creating. I think it's really because of the fact that sometimes when you experience abuse, you feel powerless, and it really helped me to gain control and be able to manage some of the broken spaces in my life. And so my writing journey really helps me because I want to help others to become empowered and to find their voice. And so writing provides that outlet for me. And so that's really who I am. I'm a writer and a playwright. I have 6 beautiful children and 2 amazing grandchildren.
Wow. Okay, now, listen, I told y'all the women with many hats. Y'all hear what I'm saying, right? Women of many hats, but I love it, and it sounds like a blessing, and I know it hasn't always been easy, but I'm telling you, when God is up to something, we have to be able to stand and weather the storm and get to what he knows that we are called to. So why don't you go ahead and tell me about the book, The Beautiful Truth About an Ugly Lie. Like, that is super. That title is like super dope. Like, explain to me how that came about, and then give us some insight about what this book is getting ready to be about.
Okay, so the title, The Beautiful Truth About an Ugly Lie, really came from the fact that as people, sometimes we love things that are beautiful, even if they're a lie. We can accept a lie in an ugly package as long as the package is beautiful. But the truth, sometimes the truth can appear ugly when it's not what we want it to be. And so we'll take an ugly truth over an ugly lie. And so it's actually going to be adapted into a book a little bit later on this year, but we're putting out the stage play first. The book will come second. And so it's really talking about, the lies that we believe, that we readily accept without challenging things, because sometimes truths can be ugly. And instead of accepting or embracing them, we just have the capacity just to go ahead and just to spring back down, to take what's familiar, that beautiful lie, instead of facing the truth, because sometimes the truth isn't what we want it to be, but it's still no less the truth.
Wow. I'm so just with the title. My God, I'm so just with the title. So how has it been getting everything together as far as the stage play? Because it's not easy doing this, y'all. For those that's everybody that's in theater, arts, any type of skits, plays, it is really not easy at all. It is a lot of work. So walk us through a little bit of what this looks like prepping to get this ready for the stage.
Oh, I mean, it's exactly how you explained it. It is a very grueling process. I just have to say, as being a writer and someone who is creating things, it's just, when you're creating, you want people to be able to experience it. And so the process really begins with you writing and with you telling many people as possible who share a passion for your ideal or for what your vision is for your stage play. And then sometimes we think we shouldn't talk about it, but you talk about it and talk about what your needs are so that you can find people who have similar interests, the same as you, and who can become invested in what your goal is for the stage play. Maybe your stage play is to inspire or to motivate or to cause attention to a certain particular focus area or point. So you want to be able to vocalize that so people can become, impassioned about what it is your play is going to be speaking to. And then you may find people who could potentially help to sponsor your activity. It's networking and engaging, having mailing lists. The ugly side of stage play is you have to be able to develop networking and you have to be able to meet people. So you want to create your mailing list. You want to be able to contact people and let them know what it is that you're doing. You want to be able to have people who are willing to consume the product that you're trying to envision. Finding your cast and going through screenings and rehearsals. Word to the wise, always have, your cast, but have your backups, the persons who are going to be able to fill in, because sometimes tragedy happens and life can sometimes get in the way, and a person may have started off with your vision and they may still be very passionate about that, but sometimes life can get in the way. So you always want to have something in the back. And then, like I said, just putting it out, promoting. Like I said, sometimes we're blessed enough to have people coming to our circle, but I believe that God just supplies every need that we have, even before we recognize that we have a need. And so I would just say, again, putting the information out there, uh, doing your thing for, I did a lot of things on Facebook because we do have social media, talking about, different roles that I was had coming up for this particular performance. A lot of my castmates I found with people who I already knew, which was a blessing. There were a few other people who joined that I had no knowledge beforehand, but it's been an amazing journey. We've become a family now, and allowing your family to be able to become impassioned. When I say family, I'm talking about your cast, and having them be invested in making certain that people come and sharing it within their networks, and just really kind of building out from there. Like I said, looking at various corporations and finding out if they can sponsor, and who does your play align to, or who does it speak with, and finding people to get on board. You really need a village. You can't do it alone. It really can't be a one-person job. But I will say this: with God, all things are possible if you believe. So that's kind of like my advice about that in a nutshell.
Yes, this is such great advice, Chanel. I don't think that, like you said, people really understand the dynamics behind this thing. It is very gruesome. I'm on that side as well, and transitioning from play, going into film, it is way two totally different things. And with God, all things are possible. Sometimes people don't even see the vision. Amen. Like they don't even see it. Not like you. You understand? You got some people will try to make you stop because they're thinking so small minded. And if you don't be careful, that stuff can start to trickle down to you. So I take my hat off to you and keep it going.
You better say that though. Lakia, you just said a whole mouthful with that. I mean, that is so serious. I mean, sometimes when you have your ideas, sometimes it's not good to be able to give, people your, not to tell people when it's in the incubation stage, because sometimes people will just go ahead and put out your little light. You'll have your light flickering trying to gain momentum, and people can come and just douse water on that and kill it before it even has an opportunity to blossom and to grow. So you just said a whole mouthful. Once you get your fire burning and it's big enough to be able to share it to somebody else to help them catch on, then you can begin to share. But in the initial phases, sometimes it's just you and God.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Say it loud so these folks can understand some things. I'm trying to tell you right now, anybody who's in this arena or anything that they're doing, you have to be careful who you are speaking your dreams to. So with that being said, you're basically a storyteller. That's how I kind of view creatives like you and I. And how important today, when you view everything that's happening, how important is it to you today that storytelling goes forth visually? How important is this to you?
It's extremely important because stories, they are transformative. They are life. It can turn an ordinary person into someone who's extraordinary. It can change a hero to a villain, in a matter of words. Stories are captivating. They can transcend, barriers like economic status, social classes, all those various points by a story. So stories are very compelling, and they have the ability to move and to be able to help people want to do something that's bigger than themselves. And so stories are important. So stories have to go on. They have to live on because that's going to be, that's truly how we communicate. Even when you think about an ad and you're watching it on the television, the ads come from a story. There's a storyline behind that. When you're motivated to do different things, you're motivated through a story. Even when you hear about Jesus, you hear about Jesus in the form of a story. You know what I mean? So stories are just transformative. They are life. They are changing. They can make you laugh. They can make you think, or they can make you cry.
Yes, so true. So true. So true. So I read here also in your bio that you're do you write fashion blogs or into the fashion world as well?
I have my own line that I have with CC's Inc. And so that's my line of clothing that I provide on it's available on my website at www.ccsync.com. I also do blogs because they're like short stories and they give me opportunities to be able to engage and to talk and to have communication, kind of like my thoughts out on paper, whatever the various topic may be. So I love, again, communicating stories. And so blogs will really allow me that opportunity.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I told y'all she is a woman of many, many hats and ain't stopping no time soon. And you're doing this being a mother of 6 children. So talk about how have you been able to balance?
Well, I mean, I got children that kind of spread out. My oldest is 23. My youngest is 7. So I don't have 6 small children at home. So it really kind of helps to spread things apart because I have them all across the spectrum. And so they're really my everything. They really help to keep me balanced. I don't know where I would be or what I would be doing if I didn't have the gift of motherhood. And so it is still a juggle because you do your job and then you're doing your mom job and trying to take care and wear all the various hats that you wear. And you want to be able to wear all of them well. And that's that's a trick to that, I have to say that. But kids could definitely keep me focused.
Yes, ma'am. As I said, it can be done, just with a little balance, especially for ones that have the younger children and really trying to pursue in their career and aspirations, but it can be done. It can be done. So talk to me about Naked and Not Ashamed, the transformational devotional experience. That's another hot title. Talk about that for me.
Oh, well, Naked and Not Ashamed, this book came about after hearing a sermon by Pastor Carlton Bird. He's Dr. Carlton Bird at Breath of Life Church down in Huntsville, Alabama. I just saw the way that I related to the woman's story. He spoke about a woman in the Bible, and this was years ago, and I can't even distinctly remember the woman who he was speaking of. But I just recognized that I resonated with her story on so many levels. And I was just so deeply touched that I said, you know what? I'm going to go home and I'm going to write a book, a women's devotional, about the various women in the Bible that I feel like other women could draw parallels by looking at their lives. They can find so much insight and knowledge and wisdom just from various stories. And so I began with writing some of my own stories. So what it is really like a 3-way mirror, because it allows the reader to look at the story from a woman in the Bible and her perspective. I utilize my own stories, and then I ask the woman to be able to look at her story because, sometimes we think we don't have a story, but everyone has a story, and the impact of your story is important. And so I really challenge readers to find their story. And sometimes we feel like we can't say certain things or we shouldn't talk about certain things, or, what goes on in mama's house stays in mama's house, that type of attitude. But it's really about transparency. The word naked means so many different things to different people. For some people, they become liberated. For some people, becoming naked means to be shamed. And so it's really about acknowledging who you are, where God has taken you in your journey, and where he's leading you to. And so that's really what Naked and Not Ashamed is all about.
Wow. That sounds really interesting. It sounds so interesting, but yet so true. So true. Sometimes we have to strip down.
You
and
do.
Like you said, sometimes we have to get naked before God. God wants us to come that way so that he can rebuild us up and reclothe us in new garments. When I heard you say that, I just kept hearing like new garment. But you're being stripped down like that and you're naked. And, before you go and reach for a pair of clothing, it's going to be the right pair of clothing that's going to help you in that season that you are walking into. So that is very powerful. So tell me, when you hear the word purpose, Chanel, what comes to mind?
When I think about purpose, I just really believe that, again, God really um, gave me the ability to be able to tell a story, which I think is powerful and impactful. Um, I feel like my purpose is to be able to encourage, to motivate, and to inspire people, but in particular women, because I relate to women because I because I am a woman, and just because you know there are so many people who are going through various struggles, and I can really kind of relate with that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like just kind of really understanding. Where God is taking you, where God is moving you at this time. And so my purpose is to be able to help, to be able to encourage, and to be able to serve. And so that's what God has placed upon my heart. And that's what I feel, just really motivated to do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you are that. Absolutely. So I know you talked about being a survivor of abuse. There's so many, and this is such a fragile subject, but it's so many that go through and they never, come out and tell their story, or they feel muzzled. How did you begin to overcome the trauma that you faced? How did you begin to deal with that?
Actually, it was from writing. Um, Writing stories when you are going through sexual abuse, in particular, I mean, any abuse, I would think that would be relevant, that you feel a sense of, that you've lost control. And because I experienced this at such an early age, I think to be able to grapple with things, I liked writing because in the stories I could control the narrative. If I want the characters to come, then the characters will come. If I say tell the characters to stop, the characters are going to stop. They're going to do whatever it is I say, and that to me was very powerful. So a lot of times when you think about your story, when you're telling your story, sometimes you may tell your story in the sense or in the lens of being a victim. And at first, that's what I was in my own eyes, a victim. But the more I became transparent and the more I allowed myself to see the evolution of the story, I could see that, I was not a victim. In fact, I was a survivor. And so each time that I write or that I speak and tell my story, I become more powerful, more resilient, more determined. And so I'm no longer at a state where I feel like I am a victim, And so I think that that's really something that I really would want to be able to convey to others, in their story, in their journey towards healing, whatever it may be. Sometimes we feel like we can't tell anybody our story, but your story has a purpose, and your story cannot define you. You define it. And your story, if you don't have control of it, then it will define you as long as you are in the in the passenger seat. But through God's grace, you have to get into the driver's seat, and now you are redefining this thing. And so each time you're telling it, and there is no shame. There is no reason for you to hold your head down or feel less than or have a woe as me type of mindset. Like I said before, stories have the ability to empower. And that's really how I've really been able to have healing, was through the power of the story.
Yes, I love that. I love that, and I'm glad that you said that because people need to hear. People need to hear it. And so, with that being said, Chanel, why don't you let everybody know how they can connect with you? But before they do that, I want you to tell everybody why this play that you have coming to the stage is a must see. What do you want them to take away from? Like, why is it important for them to make sure that they see this play?
The Beautiful Truth About an Ugly Lie is a must-see gospel stage play because it's a story about family, and we can all recognize and relate to families. And sometimes there are things that happen within families that can truly break you down and truly just kind of have the ability to shift your purpose or change who you are. And there are secrets. And I wish everybody could just say that word with me, secrets. And some of these secrets are tearing us apart. And the more we keep them in, we're thinking that we are controlling the secret. But in all actuality, the secret is controlling us. And so in the morphosis of this story, we watch 6 strong, intelligent Black women who are doing well in business and out in life, but inwardly they are falling apart. It's a family on the brink of a breakdown. So many times we don't like to say a dirty word in the Black community, which would be mental health, and we think that we have to wear these capes and have these strong personas. And we see that, if we don't cry, then that means that we're strong. But if we show our emotion, if we are transparent and show that we're weak, that makes us less than. But it's truly more powerful to take off the mask and say, I am broken, I am hurting. And so the beautiful truth about An Ugly Lie shows the family on the brink of a breakdown until they meet a therapist by the name of Dr. Watkins, who tries to come in to try to help the family as they're really struggling with the burden of this secret. And she's trying to keep the family apart, to keep them together before they fall apart. And that's really what the beautiful truth about An Ugly Lie is all about. If there's a person who is going through and they are having something going on, if there's a person who has something in their past that they're dealing with and they really haven't talked about it yet, if there's a person who suffered just feeling shame and disconnect from their families, if there's a person who is just dealing with some trauma that maybe they have experienced and they're looking at, how can I process this? Then this stage play is going to be for them. It has something to make you laugh. It has something to make you think. And it definitely has something that's going to make you cry. But in all of these things, we can see Christ working it out for this family through this story.
All right. So you guys heard it here first. So Chanel, go ahead and let everybody know how they can reach you and connect with you.
Certainly. I can be reached by my website, www.ccsinc.com. That's CECISINK.com. Or they can reach me by Gmail at ccsinc@gmail.com. That's CECISINK@gmail.com. And thank you so much, Lakia, for this amazing opportunity to connect with your listeners.
Yes, ma'am. I am triple excited about what God is going to do for you. I'm speaking blessings upon this play, that many lives will be touched and be healed, that you will get all that you need to go forth. And also let us know when the tickets and everything go on sale, where you guys are going to be first. Let us know where that is so I can make sure that I announce it on my platforms and things like that, because we definitely want to help you spread the word about that. So yes, please stay connected so we can make sure we do that, because I also am going to be bringing you on to my other platform as well, because of course the world needs to see all of this brilliance and creativeness that you got going on here. So I'm excited about that, y'all. This is, I feel like this is going to be another one, and I hope that you are aiming for other places like Amazon and Tubi and all them sites out there that need to have these things put on there. I'm telling you, because I'm like, hello, what is happening in TV land? We got to change some of this stuff that's going on in TV.
Know, right? We really do.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, I am just glad that you came on, and we are definitely going to keep up with you to find out how you're doing with this awesome stage play. So y'all, this was Miss Chanel Coleman Wesley. You guys make sure that you follow her and stay connected, y'all. Stay connected. She is a powerhouse, and y'all don't want to miss this stage play. So thank you so much, Chanel, for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much, Lakia.
All right, y'all. So it's time to take a quick break before I jump into my next guest, and I will be right back.
saw the vision that I slowly died. Where are the people with heart full of courage? People with passion to reach the unreach. Oh, where are the pillars of faith? Spirit-filled preachers and prophets that pray. Where are the lighters who stands unafraid? People directed to go where God leads. Yes, I know it, I will show it, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm the one who will love God. Yes, I know it, I will show it, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I got people who seeking sin. Without a vision, their eyes slowly dies. Where are the faithful with heart full of courage? People with passion to reach the unreached. Oh, where are the pillars of faith? Spirit-filled preachers and prophets I pray. Where are the righteous who stands unafraid? People to go, yeah, to go where God leads. Yes, I know it, I will show it, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm the one who will love God. Yes, I know it, I will show it.
All right, and welcome back to Facing Purpose. I'm your host, Lakia Barnett. Thank you guys for rocking out with me tonight. Lovely Saturday night. And by the way, just want to throw this in here real quick. Listen, I am a lifetime head. Love it. So yeah, if you guys are not doing nothing, make sure you tune in on Lifetime at 8 p.m. for the 7 Deadly Sins. I think The Wrath is coming on tonight. Y'all, listen, I love to watch movies. 9 times out of 10 when I'm watching movies, I usually gain some kind of revelation from it. And I don't know, that's just how God uses me. But yes, I just want to throw that out there real quick before we jump into our next guest, y'all. Listen, the next guest that I have is from Charleston, South Carolina. She is an Amazon bestseller author 2 times, y'all, contributing author in If She Can 2020, and her name is Tanita Noel. Come on to the virtual couch. Are you there?
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Elder Lakia, for inviting me to your show.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so glad that you can come. And so, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to all the listeners?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanita Noel. I'm a native of Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a mompreneur, an entrepreneur, have a full-time job. I'm an event planner and florist. I'm a 2-time author. And I have plenty other ideas coming along the pike, which also includes a luxury handbag collection that will be launched late spring.
Okay, now, for all the ladies who love handbags like me. Okay. Well, that's good. That is so good. So tell me, how did you become an author? Like, I know there's lots of authors out here, but what made you become an author?
I've always loved to write. I've been writing papers since school. I used to write other people's papers. In college, I loved public speaking so much I took it twice. And just journaling is my happy place because most of the time you can't speak to anybody. So if you can't speak to anybody but God, or it's something that you just need to get out right then, write it down, journal. And that's how I became, because most of the stories that I have written, they're life-based, they're true stories. And there's another book that's on the horizon as well, which is Refined China, Finding Peace Within the Pieces. So it all comes from journaling.
Wow. Okay. Well, I see that you are a contributing author to If She Can 2020 and It Takes Money, Honey. Break those down for me because they sound real interesting.
Okay. If She Can 2020 basically is encouraging stories of faith, fire, and site. 16 women just kind of wrote about their stories, how they overcame struggles, and just made it through. I owe this contribution to the visionary, Katrina Johnson. She is amazing. She has several companies here as far as helping women in their businesses. And once again, she's amazing. My contribution, my story was Girl Catch Your Life. Because, you're doing so much for everybody and you're not doing it for yourself. And that just, when she invited me to contribute, that was the first time I've ever shared my story. And it's just only a partial of what my life looks like. Because how they say it's good that you don't look like what you've been through. And I can honestly say I don't look like what I've been through.
Yes, me too.
And it takes money, honey. Basically, that was probably like a 5-sentence poem or scripture or something, basically contributing to the struggles and strategies on how to make money, improve wealth, and just overall with faith. And I just had like 2 excerpts in there. And once again, my in this book that's coming up, it will actually be my first on my own and not a collaborating, contributing author.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. So again, you are a woman of many hats, I see. Motivational speaker, mentor, event planner. Like, how do you balance? Like, and what is one of your main passions out of all the things that you do?
My main passion is being a florist. I've always loved flowers growing up. I started when I had my wedding back in 2004, and my girlfriend's mom did my flowers. That's when I grew a passion for, I think I can do this. This is something different to do, another stream of income. And, of course, it started off as a hobby, which led into a professional career. And I started in 2007. I actually got professional certifications from our local college here in Trident Technical College. And I just continued to enhance my skill by taking workshops, well-known workshops, because they do travel around the world. So I've gained and improved my skill, and that's the only way that you can learn, because, things have changed since I got a certification in 2007. So I've just been enhancing my skill. And the balance, the flowers are my happy place. When I'm playing in flowers and being creative, that's the balance, because I get to focus, I get to create, I get to be me. And, of course, the writing is also my balance, because I journal every day.
I love it. That is very interesting field that you're in. And so tell me about this upcoming luxury handbag collection line that you are launching in the summer. How was that birthed?
Well, how that was birthed is I kept saying, for my 40th birthday, I'm going to have my Louis Vuitton purse. I'm going to have my Louis. I'm going to have my Louis. And I have said that for 7 years, because I am now 47, almost 48. I have not had my Louis. So the mister said, why don't you create your own line? And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. And that was probably 6-7 months ago. And I tabled the decision to look into it and research. And the night before, probably about 3 weeks ago, it dropped in my spirit in a dream about the luxury handbag. So as soon as I got up, I'll say my prayers, and it was a Sunday morning, said my prayers first, and then I logged onto Facebook. And lo and behold, somebody said, hey, I'm selling my vendors for $20. And I'm like, okay, God, is this you? Because, I don't even know her on Facebook. I'm just scrolling. But, okay, is that a sign? Because I dreamt about it last night. And lo and behold, I said, okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith. And I reached out to the young lady, and I asked her Cash App information. and she sent it to me. And I sent her the $20, and I'm like, okay, God, hey. And literally within 2 minutes after I sent her the money, the vendors were already in my email box. She sent me the information. I reached out to the vendor, and literally his communication is impeccable. And we were just back and forth for a few weeks. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. So I'm waiting for my samples now. I cannot wait. And once I sample those, then I will be ordering my bulk orders. And I've already created my website. I've already created all of my licensures for the business. I'm just waiting for the bags. So that's how I know I'm serious and I want to do that, because usually I procrastinate on things, and I just didn't procrastinate at all when it came to this.
I want to pause for a second when you said that this came to you in a dream. I don't think a lot of people understand that God still speaks through dreams, and sometimes we just have to listen and we have to know. And sometimes He will come and give us instructions to our next through dreams. So I just wanted to just say that, because I don't think a lot of people understand that sometimes God may have to knock you out and show you your next set of instructions for where you're going. So I just think it was so profound that that's how this came about to you.
Yes, and I would add that it did, because with my event planning business, a lot of people weren't aware that I had mild strokes in November. And with event planning and as a floral designer, it's strenuous. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of push, pull, lift. So God said, okay, let me redirect your plans. Let me redirect your purpose, because, I've always wanted to be on a platform. SJR, love her. That's my number one. And I said, I'm going to be like her. And it's just, I guess, to start, the handbags will alleviate some of my time with event planning and actually shift my focus and my purpose, as you just said. Because, like you said, I was like, what? Handbags? What? I don't even like, and honestly, I don't even like selling things. So I know this is God ordained, because I don't like selling things. I've tried to sell Mary Kay, tried to sell paparazzi, tried to sell a lot of, just along the way, and they just was, I'm not a marketer. But with this, like I said, I've already set my website. I've already gotten my EINs, my LLCs, just everything that I need. I'm just waiting for the bags.
Praise God. I'm telling you, you just inspired so many listening to this and that will hear this later. How important to you is it to write the vision and make it plain? How important is that? I explain to people how important that really is, because I don't think so. I think people try to skip over that part, but you can't. Okay, so we're gonna let you explain that. How important is that, you think?
It's ironic that you say that. Well, I'm not going to use ironic, because we're, in a Christian environment. So it's God's will that you say that, because probably in about 2015, I wanted to start this women's empowerment group. And I set up a meeting. I had glasses made, and that was the scripture. Write the vision, make it plain. And I stand by that word, because, like I said, I'm a procrastinator. And if you don't write it down, you have to write down your goals. You have to pray over it. You have to make a vision board and pray over it, and then wait. So it is very important to write everything down, because for me, if I don't write it down now, I'm going to miss it or I'm going to forget. And those are just side effects of a stroke. And, it just kind of bothers me, because now I really have to write everything down. And when you say that, it kind of reflects me back to Fantasia, when she was the first African-American woman that was crowned American Idol. I mean, she beat the odds. They didn't want her to win. They wanted her to step down. And to say that her final song was, think about it. Her first words in the song was, "Have you ever reached the rainbow's end? And did you find your pot of gold? Have you caught a shooting star? tell me, how high did you soar? And it's like, ever felt like you were dreaming just to find that you're awake? The magic that you can lift you up and guide you on your way. I mean, you dream 100,000 times before, and now you realize that you've waited all your life, and guess what? Finally, you believe the promises of God, because God didn't, how the topic was, don't put me in a box. You know, you want to conform to everything that everyone says that you are and that you can't be. And as you know, in the floral industry, there are so many competitors. And instead of collaboration, a lot of people compete. But I don't compete. I just kind of step to the side or step back and just, hey, I'll freelance, or, hey, you know, I have my own event, but, you know, I'm not competing with you guys, because I'm operating in the essence of what God told me to do in this season. And in this season, he told me to rest with the event planning and floral business, because, like I said, the bag's turned up. I have the book. You know, it's just so many women that need so many things. And even Taryn Hawthorne, I live by her. You know, ain't nobody stopping my shine. Only person who's blocking you is you.
Absolutely. I love it. So don't place me in a box. When you hear that, why is it important that people should not allow people to place them in a box, to box them?
Because it limits your own expectations of yourself. You feel that you're not good enough, or you believe what they say about you. But in the end, that's not what God said. That's not what his promises are. Oh, well, she's just all right. Or, you know, well, she can't do that. Or she's never done that before. Or, you know, you learn, you grow. So I'm an avid learner. I have 3 degrees. And I'm still wanting more, because there's always more to learn. And it's not for elevation on a job to be a manager. And I'm not in a season where I want to be in management, because I have children to raise, as well as I have myself to live for, and I want to be working for myself eventually. So these are actually to help me in my growth. And if you limit yourself to what others say about you, then you're going to miss something. You're going to miss God, because you have to listen to what he says and what his voice says, and what is, you know, you have to ask him, God, really, what is my purpose? What do you expect me to do in this season? I'm listening. I don't see anything moving. I'm trying to wait. And in that waiting season, you can get discouraged if you listen to what others say about you, or what they believe about you, and not what you believe in yourself. And that goes back to you saying, write the vision, make it plain. If it doesn't happen in a year, it may happen in 3 to 5.
Absolutely. I just pray that after hearing you, that someone would really be inspired and actually really pay attention to what God's will is for their life. I don't think a lot of people understand that his will is his will, and we must follow suit, or it'll really send us. Because I know for me, when I wasn't in the will of God and doing what he really wanted me to do, I hit a lot of brick walls, a lot of them. And I went, you know, round and round in circles, like circles and circles, until God was like, okay, I know you've had enough of this. Are you going to do what I say, or are you going to keep doing what you want to do? You know? So it is a blessing to hear, first of all, that you have survived stroke and still pushing forward in what the vision that God has gave you. So he is sustaining you. And so that is a beautiful blessing in itself. So tell me what purpose kind of means to you. Like when you hear the word purpose, what automatically comes to mind?
Being active and engaging in what the Word of God has prepared for me. Because like you said, when I was doing me and trying to do things my way, trying to be everything to everybody, trying to try all of these, because this person is doing this person, oh, I'll try that. Just trying to do everything that wasn't my purpose. like you said, I hit a brick wall. So purpose to me mainly is just doing everything in the will of God, because that's the only way that you're going to find it. And just within in my writing season, basically I came up with, I know you probably remember what do they call the brunch babes? And they go all over brunching with their tutus.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I came up with one for Charleston, and it was called Charleston Bread, Bred. And what that meant to me was bossed up, resilient, empowered, and destined for greatness, because we all are. And if we're walking in our purpose and gracing to our destiny, then that's all we need.
Yes, exactly. So what's next for you? What is next? Besides the handbag collection, what is next for you?
Peace, joy, manifestation, whatever is aligned. Like I said, I keep getting share your testimony, share your testimony, share your testimony. So I'm working towards a platform, and I want to say thank you, because you're the first that's given me an opportunity. You know, you're the first. I didn't have to beg for the table. You opened the door, and for that I'm forever grateful, because you have started this platform, and it's not just a local Charleston platform. You know, you're international. So this may be the start of the platform to help others to really share my story, to really just, like I said, operate in grace, peace, joy, happiness, and confidence.
Yes, yes, yes. And we definitely cannot wait, because I know that there's so much more to your story. So why don't you go ahead and let everyone know how to connect with you, how to follow you, what all your platforms are. And
a lot of them are under construction. I have a few websites under construction, but I can share those later. You can connect with me on Facebook under Tanita Noel, Tanita Noel, Nowell. You can also email me at S as in Sam, T as in Tom, B as in boy, P as in Paul, network @gmail.com. And soon, very soon, you will be able to connect with me on sales at theteabag.com.
yes, Tanita, this sounds awesome. So before I let you go, why don't you give your last words of inspiration to all that may be listening, that are inspiring to be an author, maybe inspiring to start a business, whatever it is that you feel led to do. Why don't you go ahead and drop just some quick motivation for the listeners tonight?
Basically, the last words I would like to leave with you is operate in your gift. Don't pay attention to what everyone else is doing, because envy, jealousy is not of God. And when you start loving what someone else is doing and disliking what your life is, then you lose yourself. So with that, I leave with you as you navigate through life in Christ. There's a waiting season, a writing season, and a working season. And in those seasons, God will show you the way. Don't get discouraged when it doesn't happen overnight, because I've learned to live in day-type compartments instead of living in weekly, monthly, tomorrow, because you don't know what tomorrow holds. So with that being said, just take your time, say your prayers, write your vision, pray, and wait.
Yes, yes, yes. So I thank you so much, Tanita, for joining us and blessing us with your presence. You and Chanel have been awesome one tonight, and I pray again that blessings will continue to follow you guys the remainder of the year and even afterwards. So just stay blessed. We're going to stay connected. I definitely want to help you promote your new bags coming out. So let me know any new information that comes up, so I can go ahead and drop it on all of my platforms and let all the ladies know, hey, there's some handbags coming. So I'm excited about what you are doing, and thank you so much for allowing me to bring you on and allowing the world to hear you. You both of you women have such grace and poise about you, and you guys are trailblazers, and I just can't wait to see what else God is going to do with you. So thank you so much for coming on to Faith and Purpose.
Thank you, and I look forward to working with you with your monologue as well. Excited for you.
Yes, indeed. So thank you so much, Ms. Kanita.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right, y'all. So we are headed down to the end. It has been a really good show. I'm always so excited to be able to connect with people all around the world. You guys just stay tuned for upcoming guests that we have coming on. Let me know if you want to be a guest. You can simply book your spot. Email me at barnettlakia@gmail.com, and make sure you put in the title radio show. And again, I am getting ready to drop my first film, Why Didn't I Listen? Listen, I'm excited about this film. It is a faith-based must-see, all family. Go see this thing when this thing drops, and we are still fulfilling the sponsorship role. So if you guys have businesses and want to connect and be a sponsor, you can also email me or inbox me and say, hey, I want to be a sponsor and I want to partner and I want to see this thing to fruition. We are triple excited. Shout out to the cast, shout out to the ministry, even shout out to my engineer, Alan. I love him so much because he's been rocking and rolling with me for years now, and I am excited to have him in my life and to see me birth out the things that God has already called for. So with that being said, it has been real. Shout out to both of my guests. You guys make sure that you stay tuned for what they're getting ready to do, because it's going to be phenomenal. So make sure you join me every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am your host, Lakia Barnett, and you all have a great night.
S-P-E-C-I-A-L, you special, you so wonderful. You know you a queen, so never let them get you off your throne. Perfect just the way you are, you blessed beyond a China wall. You're beautiful when they see. Out of control, you'll see. You came up, they can't knock you down. You an ego and you're so now. I see you, yeah, you glowing, you're rolling, so lethal. Explosive commotion. Walk in the room and you'll freeze. Yeah, you stop in time when you leave. S-P-E-C-I-A-L, you special, you so wonderful. You know you a queen, so never let them get you off your throne. Perfect just the way you are, you blessed beyond the China wall. God took his time when he made you.